राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Om Krishna Arpanamastu. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Jyoti Mataji. Thank you for the wonderful recitation.
Thank you so much, Jyoti Mataji, for the very wonderful recitation. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Dandavat pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. Shancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I welcome all of you to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call mid-morning session on Shri Chaitanya Bhagavat. Before moving on to today's session, may I know who all have joined the call?
Krishna Darshani, please accept my humble obeisances to Ashna Prabhupada. Thank you so much for your warm welcoming, and thank you so much, Jyoti Mataji, for that very beautiful chanting of the Bhagavad Gita. This is Preeti Vilasni Devidasi from Atlanta, Georgia. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Vilasani Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to your services. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call, and giving your association to us. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams, Mataji. Dandavat pranams to all devotees here. Jai Srila Prabhupada. This is Sumi from Chennai.
Hare Krishna, Sumi Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your association to us. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Soma from Portland, Oregon. Very beautiful chanting, Jyoti Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Uma Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your association to us. Welcome to the call.
Hi Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaji. This is Sita Preeti Devdasi from Pune.
Hare Krishna, Sita Preeti Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to your services. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your association to us. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. I once again welcome all of you to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call's mid-morning session on Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. Before moving on to today's session, I would like to read Srila Prabhupada's quote for today. 25th March, when the soul leaves this body, then what it is? It has no value or lump of matter, just like a motor car. So long it is moving, it is worth 1 lakh, and so long it does not move, it is simply lump of iron and copper and something. Who cares for it? It is thrown away. Same thing, the body has no value. It has value so long the soul is there. Delhi, March 25th, 1976. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Prabhuji has not joined call still, so we'll chant till then. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We are very fortunate today and grateful to have His Grace Ramgiridhari Prabhu to enlighten us on the topic of Sri Caitanya Bhagavat, Madhya Khanda, chapter 22, verses 121 to 131. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to your services. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call and enlightening us on the topic of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. I now hand over the call to you, Prabhuji. Hari Bol.
Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So we are reading from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavata, Madhya Khanda, chapter 22, the chapter titled Delivering Sachi Devi from Offense and Descriptions of Nityananda's Qualities. From text 121 through 131. एकतार हेतु किचु सुना मन दियाये निमित्त गौर चंद्र बलिलेना इहा. Now hear attentively why Gaura Chandra performed this pastime. Trikala Jnanena Prabhu Shri Sachinandanam Jnanena Sevibe Advaitera Dushtaganam. Shri Sachinandana knew the past, present and future, so he knew that some miscreants would worship Advaita Prabhu. Advaite Rekai Bheka Shri Krishna Baliya Yata Kichu Vaishnavera Vachana Nindiyam. They would glorify Advaita as Lord Krishna and disregard the words of the Vaishnavas. Ye balibe Advaitere Parama Vaishnavam Tahare Vidya Langibe Papi Sabha. Those sinners would ridicule persons who accept Advaita as the topmost Vaishnava. Sinful offenders in the form of theologists will offend Advaita Prabhu by opposing the statement, Shri Advaita Prabhu is not directly Krishna, he is a great Vaishnava. Text 125. Se sabaganira paksha Advaita dharite Eta bhada shakti nahi edanda dekite. After everyone saw this pastime of punishment, it became understood that Advaita Prabhu does not have the power to protect such people. Sakala sarvagnya chudamani vishwambara janena vilambe hai veka bahutaram. Vishwambara is the crest jewel of omniscient persons. So he knew that further delay would produce many more people like this. Atayeva dhanda deki ya jani nire sakshi karilena advaita di vaishnavere. He therefore awarded punishment to his own mother in the presence of Vaishnavas headed by Advaita. Text 128. Vaishnavera Nindakari Bekayara Ganam Tara Raksha Samarthya Nahika Kona Janam. A Vaishnava is unable to protect any of his followers who engage in blasphemy of Vaishnavas. If a so-called disciple of a Vaishnava blasphemes another Vaishnava, the Vaishnava Guru will never protect such a disciple. If one disrespects Sri Nityananda and tries to become intimate with those who eulogize Advaita, Advaita Prabhu will never approve of such a philosophy. Those who, after attaining the position of spiritual master, either personally engage in blasphemy of Vaishnavas or support their followers' blasphemy of Vaishnavas, certainly become degraded. Text 129. Vaishnava Nindaka Gana Yahara Ashraya Apane Yedayite Tahara Samsaya. The deliverance of even a person whose followers engage in blasphemy of Vaishnavas is doubtful. Bada adhikari haya apane dhayam Shudra haile ganasaha adhapateyayam. If he is highly qualified, he can protect himself. But if he is weak, then he falls down along with his followers. Caitanyera dhanda bhuji bhari shakti kara jani nera lakshya dhanda karila sabhara. Who can understand the punishment awarded by Lord Caitanya? He cautioned everyone by using his own mother as an example. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakayam Chakshuram Militam Yenam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Nam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna, it's a pleasure always to glorify Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the assembly of Vaishnavas. I'm right now in a holy place called Madurai, which is considered as South Mathurapuri. And good fortune is that His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj is also here. And he has come along with a group of 100 plus devotees on a safari, South Indian safari. So day before yesterday, the safari was in Kumbakonam, another holy place. That's where Panchatattva deities were made. And from there, they went to Srirangam. And that's where Gopal Bhatta Goswami and Prabodhananda Saraswati, come from. Had a good fortune to visit Kumbakonam, had a good fortune to visit Srirangam, both places where Jayapataka Maharaj gave class darshan. And also had a good fortune to take darshan of dearest Ranganatha Swami of Srirangam. And again, as a good fortune, I will have opportunity to serve and associate with Vaishnavas here another 7-8 days, where Jayapataka Maharaj is going to be here. We have some services as well as it's an opportunity to associate and learn some lessons. So this holy place of Madurai, which according to Chaitanya Charitamrita is called Southern Mathurapuri, where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has personally visited, and this safari team, as they are traveling, Jayapataka Maharaj just finished a class in ISKCON, one of the centers of Madurai, and he mentioned that 24 places they are going to install Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lotus feet as a remembrance of Mahaprabhu's visit to those holy places. This was the project of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, which Jayapataka Maharaj has taken upon himself, requested his disciples to support, and kindly the disciples have been extending the support, and totally 24 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's footprints are going to be placed in different parts of South India. In Madurai and nearby place itself, close to 7-8 are planned, and in Kumbakonam that side around 6-7 are planned, and there are other places, Tirupati and a few other places are planned. So, what more we want, where in the assembly of Vaishnavas, glorifying Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and trying to be the recipient of some costless mercy. But then, this current context that we just read is a very important context that helps us, that warns us of how one should learn to conduct in such an assembly of Vaishnavas. As much as the assembly of Vaishnavas are important, and as much as the assembly of Vaishnavas are a fortune, a glorious opportunity, it is also a situation where one needs to take up responsibility. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the last 2 chapters, we are discussing at least from 21st chapter beginning till up till this 131 verses of 22nd chapter. We are discussing one subject matter, which is Vaishnava Aparadha and its effects. Through various episodes by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chastising Devananda Pandita because he did not restrict or educate or stop his disciples who insulted Srivas Thakur. And now we are seeing how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching through a pastime where he is punishing his own mother. So, assembly of Vaishnavas are definitely wonderful, definitely bona fide, definitely glorious, definitely happy, definitely rare, definitely transforming. At the same time, assembly of Vaishnavas have a very important component wherein we need to be learning to be responsible. So we are going to learn 3 sets of reflections in this current context of 12 verses. And let's see, how much we are able to assimilate, how much we are able to apply, how much we are able to, inspire others with this. The very first reflection is about responsibility and accountability of a practicing devotee, a leader, and even a spiritual master. we have read different verses, but if you see one important item from those verses that stands out tall is Mahaprabhu did not want to leave any stone unturned where people get any wrong signal. And he wanted to make sure that nobody in the future dares to commit an offense and tag them into different categories. So, as a part of the first reflection in terms of responsibility and accountability, there are 4 aspects that we will be discussing. So, the very first one is that, as it is explained by Vrindavan Das Thakura, every individual person should make sure that he need to be strong enough. In verse 130, Vrindavan Das Thakura is writing, if he is highly qualified, he can protect himself. So, in terms of responsibility and accountability, in our devotional journey, whilst we are amongst Vaishnavas, because Vaishnava association is going to behave in two-sided manner. In a Vaishnava association, we are going to make significant progress, and in the same Vaishnava association, we may create such a big harm to our devotional life if we are not careful. So it is a two-edged sword, a sword which can completely cleanse and uproot our entire dirtiness in the heart, but it can as well harm us if we are not careful. So, as the first aspect of being responsible and accountable, even though we are in the assembly of Vaishnavas and various other aspects, our devotional life is our responsibility. Meaning, how much I am strong enough so that no external sources, no alien elements, no disturbing situations, none of the apparent spiritual sangha will derail me in my spiritual life. Today morning, I was giving a Bhagavatam class here in Madurai. So, we were discussing from 7th canto, 15th chapter, verse number 7. In that, Srila Prabhupada is writing. Actually, the context was that Hiranyakashipu is telling his teachers in the Gurukula where Prahlad Maharaj was admitted. So Hiranyakashipu was telling, please protect my son in the Gurukula by guarding carefully from Vaishnavas. So Hiranyakashipu is saying that make sure that my son is guarded from Vaishnavas. And not only that, he is saying these Vaishnavas are such a big tricky guys. They may come in disguise and try to, disturb the situation over here. And Srila Prabhupada gives a superb purport. So we had churned that purport as usual. Srila Prabhupada is writing, sometimes for the sake of a devotee may need to assume a regular non-Vaishnava outfit so that he can enter such premises where he is not allowed and presents Krishna consciousness. And there are so many points he's writing. So we were discussing that as a matter of an individual's accountability and responsibility. So we were discussing that context, the two-sided, where whilst Hiranyakashipu is saying, be careful of a disguised Vaishnava in the school to disturb my son, to make him a devotee. And the converse is also true. Be careful of a Vaishnava, be careful of a notorious Asuric rascal in the garb of a Vaishnava in Sadhu Sangha. So it is important, and that is very tricky also, because this is the place where we are coming and putting our entire trust, faith, surrender, and to an extent we open our heart and share our emotions. But Shastra is warning that please take responsibility by being strong enough so that you are letting in only those bona fide thoughts and feelings and say no to something that is not bona fide. Otherwise, we may just, get carried away. We have a congregation devotee in Mumbai. She is conducting tuition classes. That is pretty famous in India. So one parent came and told that our son, after coming to your tuition classes, because of you along with teaching him his regular studies, you are giving him spiritual knowledge. So his inclination for spirituality and such things have increased. So this devotee lady was pretty curious, saying that, what is that, that he has done that you are so impressed? He said, my son is not showing any interest in any of the other so-called reality shows, but he shows very sincere interest in watching Mahabharata. The teacher knew the son, the boy, right? So the boy was also there. So what do you like so much in Mahabharata? He asked the boy. The boy said, I like Sakuni in Mahabharata. So many a times it so happens that we get complacent or we get some sort of a laid back situation, thinking that I am in a Vaishnava Sangha, so I am now can be a little relaxed, which is technically true, but the challenge is Kali can come in the garb even as a Vaishnava. That is why there is a saying. I'm not exactly remember the exact phrase of it. Ati Maryada or Ati surrender, humility is Chorka Lakshan. If somebody is showing extraordinary beyond natural surrender and humility, please be careful. There may be some vested agenda out there. So my first reflection, first point is our Krishna consciousness is our responsibility, and which means I need to have strong fence around my consciousness so that only those bona fide, recognized, recommended learnings are allowed inside, and those which are doubtful, those which are the border, those which are not so favorable to Krishna consciousness are kept aside. Because the warning here is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is using this entire episode to go into so many nth level of detail to make sure don't take Vaishnava association for granted either way. Don't take it for granted, meaning the great devotees, glorious devotees will be there. Don't undermine them. And also the other way around, there might be some miscreants, there may be some theologists, or maybe so many people who may show a bona fide picture of themselves, but they can be a trap. So hence my first point is that it is our spiritual strength is in our hands. That is why sadhana, Jayapataka Maharaj consistently is talking about those things in the last 3 lectures. I don't know, maybe it is he's on his mood to make sure that his disciples, because we are in for a massive gathering in a few days from now called Guru Agnya. They're expecting close to 3,000 plus God brothers and God sisters from different parts of India and around the world in Madurai on 29th and 30th. So, and it's the second gathering we are organizing. So, the point is that he's been telling, even now, just a few minutes before the class he gave, he's only telling this, that please make sure you take shelter of the holy name of the Lord and protect yourself. Take shelter of the holy name of the Lord, take shelter of the holy name of the Lord, because Kali's one agenda is not to make you take the holy name of the Lord. Kali's agenda is to make sure that he will try every possible trick to make sure that we don't chant, we don't touch our beat bag. We will be a Vaishnava, we will have tilak, we will give classes, we will even counsel people, and we will think that, oh my God, I did so much of service. You see, I think I'm not able to make up the chanting. I think that's all right, because I'm anyway doing some service, right? So we will start like this, and slowly, our bead bag will be, far away from us. For Vaishnava, one of the most important treasure for his life is his bead bag. One has to treasure his bead bag and his japamala. Not for holding it on to, but to make sure that we chant. The reason is that it is mentioned over here. If somebody is weak, even though he may have not done any direct mistake, just because his followers were reckless, his followers were not properly mannered, he has to also suffer. So that brings in the second point of responsibility and accountability, is that whilst you are practicing Krishna consciousness, make sure your near and dear ones, in case of family, your subordinates and juniors in terms of your congregation or community, your disciples, in case if you are a spiritual master, their mistakes, you will be questioned. You will have to give answer, and you will have to face the consequences. So hence the aspect of us in terms of responsibility is that we raise our concerns, raise our voice to make sure that we are not letting something wrong happen. In spite of that, if somebody does it, then the whole onus is on him. But otherwise, according to the system of Vaishnava tradition, is that a person who is, that is why, spiritual masters keep repeatedly telling their students, please be careful, please be well behaved, please be following etiquettes, because the mistakes that you do, I have to face the consequences. Prabhupada mentioned once that a spiritual master getting bad dreams, gory dreams, is because of the mistakes of the disciples. The spiritual master has to suffer. At least Jayapataka Maharaj would have said this more than 10 times. I have heard myself. Some of the sufferings that I am going through is all because of unqualified disciples or people who are not following regulatory principles. So my first reflection, second point is that hence, as a Vaishnava, as a practicing devotee, when we are in the assembly of devotees, let us be bold enough in a respectful manner, try to say no when anything goes against Krishna consciousness, if there is anything goes against the principles of Krishna consciousness. Because if somebody is doing that under your direction, then you will be held responsible. So be vigilant and not get complacent. So third principle with respect to our taking responsibility and accountability in this manner is Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has very seriously warned of the fake versus real ones. In all our Vaishnava Acharya tradition, if somebody has been through some serious situations of fake practices, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj was the first one, or one of the ones where most of his, instructions were very bold and strong against fake, inappropriate, pretending practices. Some of the situations in his manifested times were, attributing towards that. Some of his disciples misbehaved and, hurt him. So the third aspect of it is in terms of our responsibility and accountability is to ensure that somebody is not being a pretender. Somebody is not, when I say you or somebody not being a pretender, specific to the point, differentiating from the second point is to say that sometimes people might glorify one Vaishnava, glorify some Vaishnavas, glorify and worship Vaishnavas whilst insulting Vaishnavas. So Vrindavan Das Thakura is writing here that such a behavior will not only, degrade your position, but will not be able to get Krishna Prema. One of the punishments, the main punishment that Caitanya Mahaprabhu gave it to Sachi Mata, while Sachi Mata loved Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, served Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, served Nityananda Prabhu, loved all the associates of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, she made only one statement against Advaitacharya in a manner that like what you have done to my eldest son, don't try to take away my younger son also. In a manner, she said that the way you brainwashed my eldest son and who eventually became a sannyasi and left our house, I hope my second son would be saved from such a experience. And Mahaprabhu took an offense to that statement. And when Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was giving darshan to everyone at Srivas Thakur's house, he was just going on giving, mercy after mercy to so many people. And everybody said, my dear Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please give Krishna Prema to Sachi Mata. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that no, she don't deserve one. She cannot get Krishna Prema. she is disqualified to get Krishna Prema. We just read in one of the verses where if somebody insults Nityananda Prabhu and glorifies Advaita Acharya, or glorifies Nityananda Prabhu or insults Advaita Acharya, or glorifies all the Vaishnavas and insults one or two Vaishnava. A Vaishnava Das means he is a Das to all the Vaishnavas, and naturally in his conduct, he does not have any ill feelings towards any practicing devotee or any devotee for that matter. It's very, very difficult, but I guess that's an expectation upon us in terms of our responsibility. Otherwise, our devotional life is at stake. Our spiritual master or our leaders, who may not even be, directly responsible, would have entrusted upon us. They will be facing the, tunes. And our juniors, whomever we are preaching, probably we are, wrongly influencing them also. So it is a very tricky domino effect on multiple people. And it is so subtle that we don't even get to realize. By the time we execute, it's all gone. So that is why this Chaitanya Charitamrita and these contexts are considered as a postgraduate studies, because they are, diving deep into the practices of Vaishnava practices, so that they can, magnify small events, episodes, details, so that we can, improve upon ourselves. Sure, our initial days, everything is, we are given some leeway, we are given some time to settle in. But those of us who are practicing Krishna consciousness and, in a responsible services, or trying to, represent the movement, we have a huge task on our shoulders, both to look after ourselves as well as to make sure that we don't let any pretenders, or we don't set any precedents of being pretenders. So I am trying to differentiate the, second and third aspect of this reflection by one saying, say no to all those wrongdoers, and one of the wrongdoers is a pretender. Pretender here referring to saying, taking shelter of one Vaishnava to, snub somebody else, to put somebody else down. And the fourth aspect in terms of accountability and responsibility is that anticipating that things can go wrong, create systems, processes, procedures, and rules and regulations, so that the movement is able to grow sustainably. Here Vrindavan Das Thakura writes, one of the reasons Mahaprabhu did this pastime is he knew past, present, and future. So to make sure no wrong precedents are referred in the future, he is trying to make sure that this pastime is performed. So it is the duty of the leaders, it is duty of the practicing devotee, it is duty of an individual to make sure that anticipating what might go wrong, we try to extend and set some precedents, set some rules, set some policies, set some culture, set some ethos. And just by doing this, that arrangement will just before this Gaur Purnima Eve, that you all had 10 days of Gaur Katha. I'm sure God would have churned some wonderful nectars. We discussed that how in our Krishna consciousness journey, constructing temples, distributing books, organizing festivals, raising funds, installing deities, doing bridge preaching, we have excelled a lot, and we are excelling, which is great, glorious. But sustainability of all those initiatives lies in the precedence that practicing devotees we set, the language we speak, the culture that we imbibe, and the way interpersonal relationship amongst Vaishnavas are conducted. Wherever I travel, this is one flag, red flag, people are raising and saying that, Prabhu, everything is very nice, but devotees are egoistic, devotees are not accommodative, devotees are punitive, devotees are this, devotees are that, and we have come to ISKCON to change, and here we are getting a bad experience. So it is important as leaders, we try to set up necessary, caring system, because we need to make sure that in case if you are not setting up any caring arrangement, in case if you are not looking after, so Mahaprabhu is Trikala Jnani. So he is understanding what might come in the future. So anybody will say that no, Mahaprabhu allowed it to his mother. Mahaprabhu was, slightly let loose on those certain situations. No, it was very, very clear. So this is the first reflection. The second reflection is about an aspect which we seldom do it inadvertently or sometimes do it purposely. It's about over glorifying, wrongly glorifying, or even misrepresenting. Because Mahaprabhu got a little bit worried that people might call Advaitacharya Krishna himself. Because previously in the previous set of shlokas you all must have studied, where he said Advaitacharya is, as good as the Supreme Lord, because we say Saksha Daridvena Samasta Sastre. So Mahaprabhu was glorified about Advaitacharya's position, which if we are not careful enough in understanding, assimilating what is being told, we just simply try to mince the words or try to use the statements against the philosophy. So what would have been said if you try to present it otherwhere? Because this happened in ISKCON. The earlier days, people started to, call Prabhupada as, God, or sometimes, they gave him a different treatment, like how other so-called gurus who claim himself to be God. And Srila Prabhupada was very strong and very particular that no reference, nowhere he is equated to God or there is such nonsense going on. So here Advaitacharya, Vrindavan Das Thakura is writing that people might call Advaitacharya as God, or people might blaspheme those who's calling Advaitacharya as a great Vaishnava. So both are very risky. Calling Advaitacharya as Krishna and not as Vaishnava is risky. Calling Advaitacharya Vaishnava and whoever calls him, somebody mocks at him and show him down is also a problem. So these are all details which becomes relevant when we are in an active Vaishnava association. That is why Caitanya Charitamrita, Caitanya Bhagavata becomes a postgraduate study, because some of these, only those who have been in an active association, active preaching, active Sangha will be able to comprehend. Some of these are irrelevant for newcomers, irrelevant for somebody who has just come into Krishna consciousness. For them, everything is glorious and that's the way it is supposed to be. At least they have come closer to Krishna. But now that we are in Krishna consciousness, can we be careful in not flattering? Can we be careful in not over glorifying or wrongly glorifying or misrepresenting a Vaishnava? Again, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj was very strong. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was very strong. Bhaktivinoda Thakur exposed many such wrong representatives who are in the garb of Vaishnava. So technically, there is also an aspect of responsibility. In fact, the entire lecture itself is about responsibility and accountability of a Vaishnava. But then I am splitting them into multiple, bullet items so that we are able to compartmentally learn some things. But together, it is about how I am able to conduct myself and making sure the preaching is being protected. So the second reflection is about, hence, not to over glorify, not to wrongly glorify, and never ever misrepresent. And Srila Prabhupada had this concern. Srila Prabhupada said that many people use Srila Prabhupada said. Many people said Prabhupada said, whilst Prabhupada wouldn't have said that. So in the spirit of preaching, sometimes chronological mistakes, informational details misquoted, they are understood and forgiven. Because sometimes we also when we are giving class, sometimes we also make some chronological details, we may say it wrong, or even sometimes philosophical information also we might say it in a manner not exactly representing what acharyas have said, but with an intention not to tarnish the image, not to tarnish the Vaishnava tradition. But here, what is being spoken about is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very particular in making sure nobody, try to misrepresent. Nobody tries to misquote. Nobody is calling Advaitacharya as God, while this is the greatest Vaishnava, or nobody insults those people who are calling Advaitacharya as a great Vaishnava. To an extent, Vrindavan Das Thakura is saying that such a Vaishnava cannot even save a great Vaishnava, a spiritual master cannot save those Vaishnavas who are doing such a mistakes. Meaning, a person is a sincere devotee, but his student, his follower, his disciple is insulting some other Vaishnava. He will not be able to go and say, don't worry, I will forgive you, I will bless you, I will redeem you from your mistake. He cannot say that. He will not be able to say that. He will not have the authority to say that. He will not have the power to say that, because he has already broken, so many barriers, so many, aspects. So my second reflection hence is about in our Vaishnava Sangha, we might need to be very, very careful in terms of how do we glorify, how do we conduct, how do we identify and recognize Vaishnavas amongst us. Even jokingly, inadvertently, if we hurt a Vaishnava, it's still an offense. So be careful. So that is why it is an art. Whenever we are in assembly, actually, we have a good fortune of being in an assembly of so many Vaishnavas. They all have come in the yatra here. So you can simply witness saintly behaviors, and you may also get to witness something that is inappropriate. So it is our duty to learn saintly behaviors in such sangha and make sure that those inappropriate behaviors never come in my life, and we be careful, and if possible, help that to get mitigated. So my second reflection is hence that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's warning, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's purpose of, punishing Sachi Mata. In fact, we are going to discuss it further, that Sachi Mata eventually realizes her mistake when Advaitacharya heard about all these things. And Advaitacharya is glorifying Sachi Mata in turn bowing down, touching the feet of Advaitacharya, asking for forgiveness, and in turn glorifies Advaitacharya. Right immediately then, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, now I will award Krishna Prema to my mother. So this is the second reflection where we are supposed to be careful, and sometimes we don't realize that over glorifying can as well be causing heartburns. Not only that, insulting words. Prabhuji, you have been told Anudvega Karam Vakyam Satyam Priyahitam Jayat. So I was, being very pleasing and beneficial, but not by flattery can be beneficial. That's very risky. The third and last reflection is about an important aspect of a leadership where we tend to see many people seldom fail. But here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu upheld is a principle over partiality. So we are going to discuss this because Krishna is known for his partiality towards his devotees, but not at the cost of trying to compromise some basic important underlying principles. Oh, because it is my mother, her mistakes can be overlooked, and if that is Chota Haridas, he will be, penalized. That's not how he dealt. Whether it was Chota Haridas, whether it was Balabhadra Bhattacharya, whether it was, Sachi Mata, Mahaprabhu chastised. And in the case of Ramachandra Puri, Mahaprabhu expresses displeasure by staying away, by being silent. So it is important to take, notes of these behaviors of the Supreme Lord, because people generally tend to, right? Be partial towards. Okay, my mother would have just casually said like that, to Advaita Acharya. Let's not take, serious about that. And in Kali Yuga, people will point that. See, Mahaprabhu did this. Yadyad acharati shreshta. So whatever big people, leadership, people in the leadership role, that is why we have to be very careful. We get to see, we favor our family in letting them cut the queue, circumvent some processes. We make them, not take necessary examinations. We just let them go through this just because we want to prove a point. These are all Kali's prabhava. And we tend to go through this in some manner or the other, and we commit such mistakes inadvertently, but here they are condemned. So long as there is no principles or compromise, we are not talking about material morality. In the morning lecture, we were reading from Prabhupada's purport. Prabhupada said Chanakya Pandita has allowed cheating also as a way if preaching has to be done. Sorry to use this exact word. They are not exact words, but what Prabhupada is trying to say is that if somebody's intention is to help someone take up Krishna consciousness, cheating, referring as going in disguise, going in, misrepresented way to go and properly present Krishna consciousness. That's the way. Because Prabhupada was trying to explain that karmis are doing that. So sometimes to even handle those karmis, we might need to adopt such ways. Of course, they are all done in a very responsible manner. But the point I am trying to drive home here is that we need to make sure in our preaching, in our leadership, in our Vaishnava Sangha, we try to deal with our near and dear ones, as well as our juniors and subordinates, with a principle. Atmava sarva bhuteshu ya paschati sa pandita. You have to treat them as you wish yourselves be treated. If you are okay with partiality over principles, so that others would also do that. But if it is not okay for you, it is okay for somebody else, and that's not fair. And many times we see temple presidents or leadership people in the leadership role, they tend to use them. I'm not generalizing them, but sometimes we try to use thinking that these material identity, material achievement. When I say material achievement, in Krishna consciousness zone, not for Krishna consciousness agenda, but getting Krishna consciousness results to prove a point is actually a material achievement. That is why, Goswami is what they did. They were getting free from all the upadhis. Yaktva turnam asesha mandalapati shrenim sadhakuchava. Bhutva dina ganesha kau karunaya kaupina kantashtau. So it is very, very sad that when people outside not having Krishna consciousness understanding, they behave in this manner. But it is extremely concerning if we as devotees do that. So you will see a similar, behavior by Lord Shiva over Sati. Lord Shiva was very heavy on Sati, saying that you need not go. And Lord Shiva was very heavy on Daksha, when Daksha insulted Vaishnavas. In fact, it is explained the person who is the greatest of Vaishnava exhibited the most, furious response because wrong precedents should not be set. Nobody should question that in front of Lord Shiva, some of his students, followers, Vaishnavas were insulted and Lord Shiva kept on chanting and did not bother. No, he didn't want such a precedence. When Daksha was insulting Lord Shiva, Shiva kept himself free, no problem. Whatever you want to say, you say. But when it came to, his devotees and his followers and his wife and Vaishnavas, he taught a lesson. And Srila Prabhupada, we will see several examples how he was very principled. Definitely, this process have got partiality and pampering, but that partiality and pampering is available to those who have shown the symptom of genuine endeavor. Those who have shown the symptom of genuine surrender, those who have shown the symptom of genuine innocence, then they were given another chance, some sort of a pampering, some sort of a support system. But the verdict is always principled. So hence the third aspect that I want to establish here, where in this set of 12 verses, where we get to learn that Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu used his own mother, who is worshipable to Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, who is very dear to Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, and Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, to honor her request, stayed in Jagannath Puri and provided all the necessary comfort to her. Did not spare her when it comes to Advaitacharya's name being or whatever, in the slightest manner she had animosity towards Advaitacharya. So hence the third principle is principle over partiality. So we cannot be partial, we cannot be one-sided, compromising principle just because we have some power, we have some position, we have some authority, and we have some opportunity. So these are the three sets of reflections from this current context. Reflection number one is responsibility and accountability of a practicing devotee and a guru. And under them we had 4 points. Number one, every individual devotee should develop spiritual strength so that any amount of deviations surrounding him, he is careful. Number two, we discussed about importance of raising voice, raising our concerns uh, in our direct witness in front of our eyes. If something is going wrong, we might need to raise our voice. And we should third be very careful about pretenders. We will not be a pretender, neither we tolerate or neither we support or neither we let loose having pretenders around. And last but not least, it is an important duty of a leader to make sure that he sets up systems and processes, anticipating things coming down the line. Maybe our next generation is coming, maybe the generation after that is coming. So making systems. That is why Srila Prabhupada called Giriraj Maharaj once in Vrindavan in the middle of the night and asked, after my disappearance, after my departure, do you think this movement will go on? Giriraj Maharaj has no clue why he has been called in the middle of the night, but somehow he composed himself and said, yes, Srila Prabhupada, if he chants in state grounds, we will be able to manage. Srila Prabhupada used only two words: organization and intelligence. So intelligence means taking reference from Shastras and getting a Shastra Chakshu. But organization means putting them in terms of systems, processes, policies, and some governance. So organization and intelligence will make sure that we are able to conduct ourselves in a manner which is expected of us. The second reflection we discussed is about not to over glorify, wrongly glorify, and misrepresent a Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada is very particular that he not be represented in any capacity, linked anywhere close to Mayavadis, linked anywhere close to some fake devotional practices. He kept his ethos very clean, neat, and perfect. The third reflection we discussed is about how we, as a responsible devotees, we need to make sure that principle takes a precedence over any other way of partiality and pampering and supporting to our near and dear ones. It is important that we set this culture. The next generation or the generations to come will value Krishna consciousness. Thank you so much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam and Sri Caitanya Bhagavata ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, and all the assembled Vaishnavas ki jai. Thank you so much. If there are any questions, comments, reflections, I'll be happy to respond.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the very wonderful and enlightening class filled with a lot of reflections and practical applications. Prabhuji, with your permission, can we move on to the question and answer session?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. If anyone has any questions or any reflections or anything to share regarding the class, please unmute and go ahead.
Thank you so much for the very, very nice class. And thank you for always being there to give the classes, irrespective of which part of the world you are. Thank you so much. Prabhuji, I really like 2 points. One is standing up for values or values over the people. Meaning over partiality. You said principles more than partiality. So I really like that. Because sometimes we do favor the people we like unconsciously, involuntarily, naturally, it happens. But then the principles are so important to uphold over the partiality for the persons that we tend to favor. I really like that point a lot. And also standing up for other Vaishnavas. I like the 2 examples you gave. One is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how he was equal in chastising. He equally chastised Shachi Devi. At the same time, he chastised Chota Haridas or Damodar Pandit or any one of them, because he was holding up those principles so carefully. And the same thing with the other example that you gave about Lord Shiva, just because it was his wife, who was disrespected. It's not that he just kept quiet. He spoke up where it was needed and he did take action. These two examples are very striking and something to learn from. So thank you so much for reiterating all the points that you said. Was very nice. I was just meditating on these two specific points and these two examples. So thank you so much, Prabhu. Very, very nice
Hare
class.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
God bless you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. Wonderful session, Prabhu. Thank you so much. So, Prabhuji, it says that after everyone saw this pastime of punishment, it became understood that Advaita Prabhu does not have the power to protect such people. Like what Vrindavan Das Thakur wants to say when he states this statement.
2 slokas later, he is explaining that. So he is saying that if anyone is blaspheming another Vaishnava, and he happens to be known to you or following you, you may not be able to rescue that person. You will not have that power. You will not have that, inclination. You will not have that enablement to do that. So 2 verses later, Vrindavan Das Thakur is clarifying that point where he says that a spiritual master will not be able to rescue his own disciple if that disciple is blaspheming some other guru or some other Vaishnava. So it is not about the power of Advaitacharya being challenged. It is about the process where Advaitacharya would withdraw himself. Advaitacharya will not even, it is like, my son drunk alcohol and got arrested. So I said, no, please forgive him. He's very born in a Vaishnava family. I will not be able to. I should not be. I will, not support that. So something like that of that effect, Vrindavan Das Thakur is trying to say. So it is not that he will not be. It is in terms of not challenging his prowess. It is about the organizational, or what you can call as the devotional decision capacity. He will restrict himself not to support him. Make sense?
Yes, Prabhu. Makes complete sense, but I don't want to say anything. Today something opposite is happening, so yeah.
Wow. Actually, this similar situation, in one of the places, Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj quotes the example of Ambarish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni. We can give the example of Gopala Chappal and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We can give many such examples. We can give Ramachandra Puri. Ramachandra, of course, he didn't ask for. So we can give some examples where we say that people tend to so we tend to take sides, you see. We tend to take sides just because. In fact, Jayaprakash Maharaj gave a superb class in Srirangam on Sunday evening. So he was explaining, it was very nice class. If you get access to that, you all can check it out. It's on 23rd evening, 7 p.m. class in Srirangam. So he was mentioning that in our practicing Krishna consciousness, we may have some agendas in our heart. So he was explaining about those 6 vices. Chaitanya Charitamrita explains Kutinati or Pratishta and whatever that 6 points. He says that somebody is looking forward for name, fame. Somebody is looking forward for power, position. Somebody is trying to be diplomatic to get their work done. So he says that none of those things would work in Krishna consciousness. You may apparently show off and try to get some brownie pie from people, but you will not get Krishna prem. You will not go anywhere closer to Krishna. So that's actually a warning. Actually, also a statement of risk to say that be careful. A statement of fact to say that these are all risks. So be careful in our practices. And yes, what you're saying is these are all happening around us, amongst us, between us. So Kali is very dangerous. Today morning we were reflecting on this point that how Asat Sangat Tyaga, how do we actually explain what is Asat Sangat Tyaga? So we mentioned 4 points. When we say Asat Sangat Tyaga, what does actually mean? So we said that how Asat Sangat Tyaga means one is to fence yourself. We need to fence ourselves. Like mosquitoes, we cannot bind a mosquito. If you have to free from the mosquito, we have to go inside a fence. This is one creature in this world where you can't. I'm hiding. I'm locking all the mosquitoes so that they are punished. You cannot do that. So mosquitoes will come, find even the smallest pore, it will come and break you. So it is up to us how do we fence ourselves. And Asat Sangat Yaga actually means hate the sin, not the sinner. And Asat Sangat Yaga means make sure we go and raise a warning sign so that many people are aware about the trap, including the person who is trapped and also those who are. And Asat Sangat Yaga is actually meaning what we just said, that we need to set a very important precedence. And so we not let bad things enter our life. We are very bold enough to say, I disagree. I will not disrespect, but I will disagree. I will disagree. I will disagree. So even amongst the so-called apparently bona fide associations, we sometimes get to see some behaviors which are not very conducive. So many times acharyas have chosen to go into extreme silence out of complete displeasure. Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, you'll see so many episodes where they have gone absolute silence, deepest of sorrowness. Oh my God, I gave so much to these guys and they are up to fighting all these things. So what else you can do? It's very sad.
Excellent. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Your answer makes complete sense, 100%. Thank you, Prabhu. And really, I like this point. Asat Sangha, like till now, even I was thinking that I have to keep myself away from these kind of materialistic people. But as you said, it's fencing. It's fencing our own self, our own bhakti. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Then with pranams.
Any other thoughts, reflections?
Are those classes by Guru Maharaj is available somewhere?
Yeah, they are available in his Facebook page. They are live.
Except from Facebook, if anywhere else?
If I get some, I will see if I can share the link.
Sure, Prabhu, because unfortunately I'm not active on Facebook anymore. So
yeah, okay, I'll see if I can share something.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Any other thoughts?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I don't have any question, but thank you so much for wonderful class. Very grateful to you.
Yeah, I saw you hopping in ISKCON Tirupalai, YouTube channel, screaming, there is no voice, there is no voice.
Yes, Prabhuji, no voice. When the other speaking, we can hear a little bit, but then not Guru Maharaj voice.
I saw you, Lalitangi Mataji, couple of devotees, they were logging.
Yeah, no voice, yes.
YouTube channel. There were some technical faults.
And we are happy that at least we could see. At least we could see that. That's great, Prabhuji. Yeah.
No, actually, I will tell you, one of the interesting learning itself is that just moving around with these Vaishnavas, small details you get to learn, and those are all, priceless. And the way they are, in fact, one devotee told me that when self-realized soul speaks, you don't analyze the technicalities. You try to understand the mood. So it made a lot of sense to me because when we hear Bhagavatam class, we try to attend technical information, what new data this person is telling. Is he giving something new to learn? Am I getting some more points for my next class? So we get into kind of grabbing those points. That is not wrong. That is good to have. But one more level is getting to the skin of the emotions that they are trying to emulate, and what mood in which they are trying to operate. That is something. We just simply witness. That is why generally when I go to these all programs or when I want to have my learnings, I don't sit next to any of my friends. I sit somewhere alone where I can peacefully enjoy. Or sometimes people get, oh, Prabhu this, Prabhu that, Prabhu this, Prabhu that. I get to miss. I want to very minutely observe bodily gestures, movement, eye contact, feelings, because these are all not ordinary. Darshane pavitra koro, ei tumhara gun. What does that mean? It is not just some, eye exercise. It means, please see between lines. Please read between lines. Please go beyond and behind the scene. If somebody know behind the scene of what Jayapataka Maharaj is up to, if somebody new comes, somebody don't know anything about Jayapataka Maharaj, don't know anything about ISKCON, don't know anything, they'll come and see what is this guy, speaking. I'm not even able to follow. He will not be able to correlate. But those of us who know, we cry. When we make two statements, very punching, we cry. So what I'm trying to say is that, yes, even if you don't hear, sometimes just witness, you may get to see, get to learn a lot of things.
So true, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Yeah, sometimes even I'm at my workplace, I don't listen the audio. I just keep and see Guru Maharaj. That's it. Because I can't put volume sometimes. So then even I do that. Thank you so much. Getting darshan. And at the last, Guru Maharaj says, Krishna Mati Rastu. For that, I just wait when he's going to give that blessings. I'll just wait for that and take that blessings and leave the call. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for telling that to understand the mood of Guru. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. You have already fulfilled the desire of Kirtida Mataji, the link of the lecture.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Vinita Mataji.
Okay, Sugasagari Mataji wants bhajans. Thank you. There are no further thoughts, questions, comments. We'll sing a bhajan.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam. Sorry, very, very beautiful class, Prabhu. I joined in the middle though, but it was very nice, Prabhu. When you were talking about how we need to be listening, I just thought I heard something from Urmila Mataji. Is that okay to share, Prabhuji?
Sure, please.
Once she was saying that most of the time when we are trying and sitting in a class, sitting in a class, we're not listening. We're actually preparing what to ask next or trying to get whatever, like you said, some points or something like that. We're not actually trying to listen or get into the mood of the speaker like that. So when you were just mentioning, I thought, I just was reminded of what she said that day. So.
Very, very true. Sometimes we want to get our presence registered even in the altar. Oh, when you see Krishna, I should not see Krishna, I should see me. Oh, my garland, my dress that I stitched. This my wala is a big problem. Anyway, we'll sing a song. Any particular song of your choice?
Prabhuji, any song is good. Prabhu, anything new you learned? It'll be nice for me to inspiration to learn also.
Since we were discussing about Mahaprabhu, I'll sing Parama Karuna. Not sure how it is going to go. In front of a kalakar like you, have to be careful also.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we are going to sing a song called Parama Karuna Bahudui Jana Nitai Gaura Chabura. Parama Karuna Bahudui Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra. Parama Karuna Bahudui Jana Tai Gaura Chandra Sabayavataram Sarashiro Mani Kevala Ananda Karnam Sabayavataram Sarashiro Mani Kevala Ananda Karnam Kevala Ananda Kanda Kevala Ananda Kanda. Bhajo bhajo bhai Caitanya Nitai Sudrida Vishwasa Kori Vishaya Chadiyam Sera se Madhya Mukhe bolo Hari Hari Mukhe bolo Hari Hari Mukhe bolo Hari Hari देखो रे भाई त्रिभुवने नाय हे मनोदयाल धाता पशुपक्षी जुड़े पाषाण विदारे सुनि जार गुण गाता सुनि जार गुण गाता सुनि जार गुण गाता संसारे मजिया रोहिणी पड़िया से पदे नाहिलो आशा आपण करमाम बुंझये शमनाम कहो ये लोचन दासा कहो ये लोचन दासा कहो ये लोचन दासा जय गौर निताय गौर निताय गौर निताय जय गौरा निताय जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद
Are nothing.
प्रभुपाद जय
Just I'm
जय
feeling so sad
प्रभुपाद
about all this.
निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल. The two lords, Nitai Gaurachandra, are very merciful. They are the essence of all incarnations. The specific significance of this incarnation is that they introduce the process of chanting and dancing that is simply joyful. My dear brother, I request that you just worship Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda with firm conviction and faith. If one wants to be Krishna conscious by this process, one has to give up his engagement in sense gratification. One simply has to chant Hare Krishna, Hari Hari without any motive. My dear brother, just try and examine this. Within the three worlds, there is no one like Lord Chaitanya or Lord Nityananda. Their merciful qualities are so great that upon hearing them, even birds and beasts cry and stones melt. But Lochana Das regrets that I am entrapped by sense gratification, since I have no attraction for the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. The Yamaraja, the superintendent of death, is punishing me by not allowing me to be attracted by this moment. Shri Gaurnitai Ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for beautiful bhajan, and thank you for reading the meaning. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Any more last questions? Darshini Mataji, are you there?
Yes, Mataji. Okay, if there are no questions, Prabhuji, with your permission, we'll pause for today. I offer my obeisances to all the wonderful Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis on the call. Pancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva
Bhagavata
patithanam
pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Jagatguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, His Grace Ramgiridhari Prabhu ki jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji,
Jai.
for
Thank
enlightening
you,
us.